Jagrata, Jai Masters. It's very important that one should never think that spirituality is about giving up anything. This whole thing of renunciation, this whole thing of asceticism, all that stuff. You will reach a point in your growth where you realize that every single moment of your life is spiritual. Every moment of your life is about your growth. Every moment of your life is about reaching to the highest part of your being. That's real, true spirituality. It encompasses everything. But it's not about giving up things. People talk about doing without marriage. People talk about doing without children. People talk about doing without intimacy. People talk about doing without money. People talk about doing without all kinds of things. A deep person asks the question, how would you know what to renounce? Like, I don't like Brussels sprouts. So if I were Catholic, that would be my Lent. I'm not going to do Brussels sprouts. Well, that doesn't count, does it? So it must be, if you feel you have to give up something, then it must be something you really want. And spirituality is about not giving up what you want, finding out why do you want that? Why, out of all the things that you can pick of what you want to renounce or what you think you're supposed to do without, why did you pick that thing? Why did you pick relationship? Why did you pick children? Why did you pick finance? Why did you pick success? Why did you pick these things? Because you don't have them. You don't renounce the white lines on the road. You don't care about them. You renounce that which you think you need. Spirituality, deep spirituality, is not about how to renounce what you think you need, not about how to get what you think you need, but how to go deep enough to find out, why do I need this? Because every one of you needs something different. And at different points of your life, every one of you would pick different things that you think you need to renounce, that you think you want. Do you understand that? Okay? The question of spirituality is way deeper than doing and not doing. Way deeper than getting and not getting. It's why. Why do I have an issue, so much of an issue, that it's what I want to devote my life to get or what I think I have to renounce? That's the major step in spirituality. When you get past this getting and not getting, doing and not doing, having and not having, succeeding and failing and all that stuff, to say, how did I pick that? And what you're going to find out is that that is an area where you're blocked. If you don't feel love, you want love. If you don't feel respect, you want people to respect you. Everybody thinks, well, that's natural to want people to respect you. Don't you dare do that. That fact that it's natural to you, somebody else walks away from it, means nothing. Ramakrishna, great master, he used to go to dinners with prime ministers, with his disciples, and in the middle of the dinner, he'd stand up and start dancing in ecstasy. And his disciples would say to him, Master, that's embarrassing. I go, don't you get embarrassed? You know what he said? He said, I found out a long time ago. There's only one thing it can do with the respect of another human being. Lose it. If somebody respects you, you're afraid the next time they won't, aren't you? You wear something, they say, God, you look so handsome or beautiful. You better be careful when you get dressed next time. Eventually you catch on that that is not what you want. Therefore, it's not what you have to renounce. It's getting deeper to see, why do I care? I hate to say this too. Why do I care what this person thinks about me? I do care. I'm not going to lie to myself. I see it. I feel nervous. I feel anxious. I feel like I have to do special things. I feel embarrassed if I say something that's stupid or silly, or that I think is stupid or silly, or that I think they might think is stupid or silly. It's pretty complicated, isn't it? Why do I care what somebody else thinks about me? Somebody once told me, a deep person, that they had an experience with a homeless person. That they were going into a shop, and this homeless person approached them, and they had their child with them. This person had a child with them. And the homeless person asked for some money, and they kind of felt uncomfortable and tried to go away from this person. So they had their child with them, they didn't feel safe, and this and the other thing. And afterwards felt uncomfortable that they had done that and felt guilty and all that. In other words, they cared what this person thought about them, which is nice. But still, why are you doing that? What is that all about? There's 8.3 billion people on the planet Earth. Start caring about what they all think about you. And so you look in there. That's where we're going tonight. You look in there and say, why do I care? Not I don't care. That's just pushing it away. That's not finding out why you care. Do you understand that? I don't care what anybody thinks about me. I like to be alone. Right? That's not spiritual. It's why is there something inside of me? I see it. You see it. That gets all uptight and gets all nervous and gets all anxious and gets all needy and gets all scared. If I gave you a choice, get that person, get people to respect you, or not have that inside of you, so that when you meet a person, you just meet a person. You don't disrespect or respect. It's just you met a person. That's what you did. You met a person on the planet Earth. Like meeting a dog. All right? It's just a living creature. And you're comfortable, or a cat, or whatever. All right? You just met something. Which would you rather have? That which you think you want to make that part of you feel more comfortable, or to not have that part of you. To literally not have it. Not suppress it. Just like magic wand. It's not there. Next time you walk out into the public, you see people. Not people judging you, not people liking you, not people not liking you, not people that you used to like, people that look like the people you used to not like. You're just quiet in there. You're just okay in there. And if somebody walks up to you and says, boy, you don't look so good, you say, oh, thank you. I'll have to have a look. And if somebody walks up and says, oh my God, you're the most beautiful thing I ever saw in my entire life. Oh, thank you. I'll have to have a look. Because you don't need it. Wouldn't that be nicer? Doesn't mean you don't have relationships. Doesn't mean anything. It merely means you don't have need. It really means you don't have something inside of you that's creating enough trouble inside of you to make you behave like we behave. And we all do, don't we? And be scared and be nervous and be anxious. How would you like to get rid of that? You don't get rid of it by satisfying it. A great guru once said something, I'd never forget it. He said, no one has ever gotten rid of a desire by satisfying it. No one ever got rid of a desire by satisfying it. All they did was put a Band-Aid on top of it. As long as you behave the way I expect you to, the way I want you to, and the way blah, 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 I feel better. The moment, the instant you say one thing or do one thing that I didn't expect, how you doing? You did not satisfy that. You just temporarily placated it. Okay? So the question again becomes again and again, spirituality asks you a serious question. Would you rather have the outside world momentarily behave in a way, whatever that is, by the way, I mean, you haven't figured out yet, have you? Behave in a way that makes you feel okay, as long as it keeps behaving that way, or if you change, it better change also. Pretty complicated, isn't it? Or would you rather get rid of that part of you? Now, what's getting rid of it mean? Rip it out, throw it away, deny it? No. That's not getting rid of it. That's denying it, pushing it away, inside instead of outside. You're renouncing it inside instead of renouncing it outside. Getting rid of it means to find out, why is it like that? If your why is you wake up someday, and I really want you to, and that's why I keep teaching you this. You are sitting on a planet spinning through dark outer space. 1.3 million Earths fit inside the sun. What the heck is the difference? What is going on this planet? I know that's not nice to say, but you better get there. Why? Because it's the truth. If the entire planet blew up to smithereens, a couple of other planets would change their orbit, and nothing else in the entire universe would know it even happened. And you worry that you dropped something on your pants or your dress, or that somebody didn't say hello, or it's raining out and you have to get out. At some point you look at that and you say, that's not going to get solved by moving to Arizona where it doesn't rain so much, or moving out to the woods where there are less people that won't say hello. I don't expect them to. It's not about any of that. It's about, what's wrong with me? Why can't I be born onto this tiny little planet in the middle of nowheres with lots of things going on? There's plants, there's animals, there's trees, there's people, there's things to do. Go to Mars. See how long it takes to get bored. Go anywhere else. that we've aimed our telescopes at, and we've looked everywhere, very far. We haven't seen anything. Fire, rocks, sand, gas. Is that what you see every day? And yet you're full of all these problems? Why? There is no reason. We will understand why before we're done, but is that reasonable? You should come on down here. And by the way, that planet has been here for 4.5 billion years. How long are you going to be here? 80, 90, 100, nothing. And you telling me you can't drop, I'm going to embarrass you. You can't drop down on the nicest planet that anything has ever seen so far, and we've looked very far. We've had probes out, and we have these telescopes. You can't drop down on the nicest planet by far, billion times nicer, spend a few years, and have a good time. Can you? No. Spirituality says, yes, you can. Have fun. Do your thing. Right? Be a nurse, be a doctor, be a hobo, travel. And nobody's stopping you. You can do anything you want. Don't worry, you're leaving. You're not going to stay very long. It has nothing to do with any of that. It is completely meaningless, those kinds of things that are going on in this planet. I told you the other day, I'm sorry, my mind, I have trained my mind. It took a long time, 50 odd years, right? You have a personal mind. What is that? The mind that thinks about you. What I like, what I don't like, what I want. You got one of those? All right. You also have an abstract mind, an intellectual mind that can think about science, about creativity, can't it? Now we spend 99.9% of our time in the personal mind. And unfortunately, we even tie the abstract intellectual mind to the personal mind. Publish or perish. Oh, that's not why you think about things. And, name a star. You understand what I'm telling you? You just ruined it. You were out there exploring the universe. You made it be about you. Is it about you? Was that star about you? Is the galaxy about you? Is any of that about you? No, but you made it about you. That's the personal mind. And if somebody else names it before you, you hate them. I want you to see the difference, all right? The intellectual mind, the pure mind, the abstract mind doesn't think about itself. It doesn't get ingrown toenail about what I want and what I don't want and who likes me and what's going to happen. It expands. It's creative. It's beautiful, isn't it? It's just beautiful. Explores beyond itself. That's what's going on. So basically, you have a choice as to where you live. But you don't have a choice. One, because people don't teach you to. The only thing your society teaches you to do is succeed, get the best, prove yourself, blah, 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 which just reinforces the personal. How many likes do you have on Facebook? That's important, isn't it? Oh, are you kidding me? It's a stupid thing inside of a computer on a tiny planet in the middle of nowhere. I started telling you, but my mind likes to contemplate, and I share it with you just because I want yours too also. Okay, we just talked about 1.3 million Earths fit inside the sun. There are 300 billion stars in your galaxy. What does that mean about what's important? Why would I think like that? Because it's the truth, is it not? If one planet, 1.3 million fits inside one star, and there's 300 billion in your galaxy, and there's 2 trillion galaxies, what are you doing with your mind? You're making a royal mess out of your life. You have a beautiful, fun life. You're here. You do your thing for a while and leave. Don't worry. Nothing's going with you. The buildings aren't going with you. The kids aren't going with you. The wife's not going with you. The dog, the pets, the people, nothing. I told this story the other day, because I want your mind to expand. They found last year, a black hole. What's a black hole? Every large galaxy has a black hole in the middle. And there's 2 trillion galaxies, and they say that hundreds and hundreds of billions of large galaxies with black holes. This black hole was very special because it was emanating a stream of energy out of both sides that they measured for one of the first times. I want to tell you, because I want your mind to be gone bye-bye with truth. Ye shall know the truth, and truth will set you free. The largest bomb that human beings have ever built was called the Tsar bomb. Russia built it. It was 50 megatons. Originally, they built it to be 100 megatons, but they were scared to death. I'm telling you the truth. This was back in the 60s, 70s. They were scared to death to set it off. So they cut it back to 50 megatons. They set it off. It was 1,600 times stronger than the combination of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And all of you have seen that stuff, haven't they? They got so scared that they wrote everybody around the world and said, we are so sorry we ever set this off. Don't set it off above ground or below ground. It is the scariest thing. Let's not even get close and ever do it again. All right? So that's that bomb. That stream of energy that is coming off that one black hole is 130 billion times stronger than that every second. Can you do anything with that? I hope not. 130 billion times. That's the Shakti, the energy pouring out of one black hole, and there are hundreds of billions of them all over. And what are you worried about? What is wrong with incorporating the rest of the universe into your life, since it is part of your life? The personal mind says, it's not going to pay the rent. How's it going to take care of me? What's it got to do with my relationships? How's it going to fix what my husband did? That's the personal mind. It's ingrown. All it thinks about is itself. If you can break free of that, wait till you see what your life becomes like. You get to walk around a planet with its frame of reference where it belongs. That's what's going on out there. Trillions of galaxies, lots of planets spinning around them, and you get to be on one. All of a sudden, you start to feel honored that you're having the experiences you're having. They're not necessarily what you want to have. The problem is not how to get them to be what you want them to have. The question is, why do you want them to be that way? The beginning of the third Zen patriarch, the deepest writings ever written, says the great way is not difficult for those who have no preferences. Now that's inconceivable to most people. They don't even want to have no preferences. They want to get their preferences. Why? Because when you get your preference, you feel Shakti. You feel passion. You feel energy. You feel joy. I've been honest, fair enough. Okay, how long does it last? How long does what you get continue to be what you want? And how long do you want to continue to want it that way that it keeps giving you juice? Go buy a new car. See how long that lasts before it's just like any other car you ever drove. It's just you get in and you drive it. Have I exaggerated? So what you want, you don't want what you want. You want the result that you experience inside by getting what you want. Again, that's yoga. Notice it turns you inside instead of outside. And went back to the question, which would you rather have? Getting what you want or getting rid of the fact that that's the only thing that will turn you on? You want to be logical? I'll be logical with you. Oh, this one house, that's the only house that will ever make me happy. I feel sorry for you because there's lots of houses. Why would there only be one house in your life that will make you happy? You did that. There's nothing special about that house except you said there was. Somebody else doesn't like it at all. In fact, if you found out that a mass murderer lives in that house, I don't think so. Right or wrong, that's all it takes, isn't it? One more thing to get into your mind, and all of a sudden it's not what you want, or it is what you want. So you start seeing how fickle this want and not want thing is. And you wake up to say, it isn't what I want anyways. I want the joy, the Shakti, the love, the excitement, the enthusiasm, the passion that I feel when I get what I want. Okay, then you become what we call a spiritual scientist, a yogi. That's what a yogi is, a soul scientist. Why did I pick that? Why is that the particular thing that makes me feel this joy? And you're going to find out without studying anything past Psych 101, because your mind is the sum of your learned experiences. You have had experience in your life, and it was a movie or your parents or this or that or a dream you had, that house just kind of, okay? You didn't make it up. It's experiences that you had. And so psychology teaches you. Your mind is the sum of your learned experiences. Your heart is the sum of your learned experiences. If you were madly in love with some redhead boy in 5th grade and he moved away, parents moved away before you ever had an argument, you like redheads. Your mind is the sum of your learned experiences. That's very deep. That's why yoga incorporates science and psychology, everything. Why? If that's true, then what has happened is you've limited your happiness to the sum of your past experiences. You had a baby brother, and he died. And it was very, very painful for you. Now you don't have children. Can it happen? In fact, you don't even want to get married. It's down there, isn't it? And you just decide, do I want to limit my happiness to these past experiences that happened to me? They're random. Anything could have happened. A yogi doesn't. They sit there and say, wait a minute. I've stored all this garbage inside of me, and it's deciding the one or two things that can turn me on. What if I got rid of that garbage? What would happen then? What if I was standing on planet Earth and I thought, houses are neat. They don't have any on Mars. And any place you went, it just turned you on. There's huts and there's houses and there's big houses and there's small houses and there's yellow houses and orange. How would you like that? What if every single thing you experienced made you feel passion? Because you didn't limit the definition of what you want and don't want to these past experiences. My experience is that's the bottom line of all spirituality. It's psychology. But not using psychology, transcending psychology. It is true. You're going to find out. You get uptight about things that made you uptight before. Somebody else will get turned on by the same exact thing. You may get turned on by the same thing next year. Pay attention. So the answer is not to get what you want. That is not what spirituality is about. That is not what life is about. Because it's limited. You've just limited yourself to just a few experiences that will turn you on. A great being loves you and says, I want you turned on by everything. I want you to wake up in the morning and be so excited that you woke up. And I want you to not care what happens. Why? Because I'm negative? No, because you're positive about everything. It's raining out and I wanted to go sailing. Oh boy, I don't get to go sailing. I wonder what I'll do today because I'm not going to go sailing. How would you like to be like that? Your husband or wife or boyfriend or girlfriend come home and they're in a bad mood. They march through the house and even say hello. Look at this. Look at how negative they are. It's so cute. I used to be like that. And then when they come out, you say hi. You don't give them trouble. You don't say anything. They don't need an explanation. Nothing. Why? Because you're fine. That's spirituality. Spirituality is not about getting what you want and avoiding what you don't want. It's not about renouncing what you want. It's not about getting what you want. Do you understand that? It's not about anything like that. It's about understanding, why am I programmed to be turned on by a handful of things and turned off by all the rest? And you just get to the point where you say, I don't want to be like this. Can I change this? Not, that's just the way I am. It's not just the way you are. You're programmed. You got programmed by your experiences. You can deprogram yourself. You can cleanse. That's called spiritual cleansing. And you start to understand that if I learn how to do that, I can be happy all the time. I can be filled with passion all the time. Teachers teach you, find your passion. Spirituality does not teach you find your passion. It says, find out why you're not passionate about everything. How would you like that? That's a bigger one, isn't it? Find out why you're not passionate about everything and then let it go. And next thing you know, you're passionate about everything. Well, I can't find somebody that I'm compatible with that I love. You should love everybody. You should love absolutely everything. It's just, then we have to have a close relationship with them. But like I try to tell you, if you meet another human being, and you do it all the time, they look different than you. How would you like everyone to look like you? No, that wouldn't be any fun at all, would it? And do you know that other person looks different than you? They say words. Have you noticed that? You're not going to like me, but I'm going to tell you the truth. Noises come out of their mouth. That's all they are, is noises. Your larynx, your vocal cords have the ability to make noises. Isn't that miraculous that it can do that, and that people learn to shape those noises in a way that they mean something? And it's not amazing that your mind and your ears can understand what their noises mean? Isn't it amazing? And everyone's running around making these noises, and not everybody understands everybody else's noises. And then eventually you catch on, not only do I understand the person's noise, but I don't like it. You should be amazed that you understand. If a dog started barking and you were gifted with understanding it, doesn't matter what he's saying. It's just miraculous you understand. Everything is like that. Every single thing in life is just incomprehensibly miraculous, and you get to experience it. There's another thing I taught more than once. Do you understand that the moment you experience, like right now, you're the only person experiencing that moment? Only you are sitting at that angle. No one has ever experienced it before. No one will ever experience it again. Think for a moment. Is that true or not? Well, I thought you wanted to be special. How do you get more special than that? That every moment you experience, you're the only one that will ever experience for the history of time? Wow. Why is that not enough? It seemed to me, say, wow, that's pretty far out. Learn to be open. And the next thing you'll know is the Shakti flows. The only reason you don't feel passion and love and enthusiasm and excitement all the time is because you're closed. You're closed except when the things are exactly what match your stored past experiences. In yoga, we call them samskaras. You stored past experiences. They could be tiny little things. You could drive behind a car that looked a certain way and they drove erratically and drove slow. I'm telling you, if you're in Boston and you see a car like that, your heart goes like this. Have you noticed? That's part of witness consciousness. You're a conscious being. What is that? If you keep storing all that kind of stuff inside of you, you keep limiting when you can be okay. And the next thing you know, you're out there struggling to manipulate life for the moments that you call special. Every moment is special. I told you, you're the only one experiencing it. No one will ever experience it again. You better find it special. It is special. Okay? You're here experiencing this. You're going to walk out and experience something totally different. Everyone's going to experience different things too. Your entire sequence of life is a string of pearls that only you experienced. And they put it together. What should I do about that? Enjoy it. Love it. Appreciate it. Have gratitude. Say thank you. Be honored to be the one who experienced it. You should, for every moment you experience, you should say thank you. Every moment. What if it's not nice? Thank you. Why? Because it's a moment of reality. It's a moment of creation. The problem is I can't handle it. I'm closed. It bothers me. It isn't it that bothers you. It's the stuff you have inside that bothers you. There's no bother inside. There's just beauty and love and Shakti and joy and passion and excitement all the time. That's all there is. Go take a test and you think you got an A and get 2 wrong. You should be so excited. Are you kidding me? That means you have something to learn. If you get all A's, you already knew it all. Boy, we're warped the way we look at stuff, isn't it? When that comes back and you say, oh wow, now I understand. Now for the rest of your life, you learn something, you know something. But no, you get depressed. You say it's wrong. It's not okay to learn. You're supposed to be perfect. You are not. Every moment of your life, you interact with it. It's bringing you the gift of the moment. You let it pass through. You be grateful for it, no matter what it is. Sickness, health, wealth, poverty, everything, every single thing. Birth, death. Why? Because they're part of life, aren't they? No one ever got rid of any of them. They're all part of reality. What if you were open enough to embrace the whole thing? You would be filled with love, filled with Shakti, filled with joy and passion all the time. Then what? Now come out and express it. Notice, I'm not talking about renunciation, am I? That's the difference between getting and not getting, doing and not doing, being. You learn to be open. And once you're open, every single thing that happens raises you. There is no down. There is nothing. It's just a beautiful situation. So are you willing to understand that you have closed yourself and you are keeping yourself closed? And when you're closed, you don't feel good. And so you look for things that make you feel good. Either go out there and spend your life begging, stealing, trying to get what you want to feel okay for a moment, or get rid of this garbage that you've stored inside and be a whole being. Be open. Just sit there and wake up in the morning and say, bring it on. Who wants to live that way? Every single thing is beautiful, and all you bring into your life and into everybody else's life is light and love and giving. There's never a time where you sit there saying, but I don't like that. I don't want you to do that. There's, how can I help? All the time. How can I help? Because you don't need anything. That's where you want to go. That is yoga. That is what's taught in the Gita. That's what's taught in the great scriptures. You are a whole being. You're complete and whole within yourself. You're the highest being ever walked the face of the earth. But you have closed yourself. Just like the sun is always shining. There's no spring, winter, fall. 4.5 billion years it sits out there and just shines. But there's clouds that cover it, or you go inside. You're stopping the light. So what yoga and the great teachings are about, all the deep teachings, is how to stop stopping the light. Not how to compensate for the fact that you've stopped the light. Now how can I still be okay? I'm not okay, I don't feel love, but if people respect me, I feel better. If everybody claps when I come in the room and pranams, whoa, that would be nice, wouldn't it? Whoever respected me that much. Okay? No. Then you worry what happened next time. It doesn't change a single thing to get what you want. You're feeding the wrong part of your being. You want it because you're blocked. If you're not blocked, I'm telling you, there's nothing to want. You're whole, you're complete. What did Christ say? Man does not live by bread alone, but by every word that leaveth the mouth of God. What does that mean? You don't live by the outside coming in. You live by what's pouring inside of you, the Shakti, the spirit, that's feeding you all the time. It is feeding you all the time. If it's not feeding you, you did it. Nothing can block it but you. You're the only one inside. Is it not true that you've blocked yourself? Do you have things that you're scared of? Do you have things you're desirous of? Do you have things that say, I won't be happy unless this happens, or I'll never be happy if that happens? You're doing that. What a yogi says, Aham Brahmasmi. I am pure light. I am Brahma. I am Shiva. I am the light of the universe. That's what I am. Completely open, completely filled with love, pouring off of me. That's Shakti. You will feel it someday, just pouring out your centers. Pouring out. You don't have to do anything. It just is who you are, because you stop being this person that is so full of limitations that you're only okay if everything's the way you want it to be. How often has everything been the way you want it to be? And how long has it lasted? Be honest. I just don't understand. If you've done something every minute of every day of your life and you're still doing it to be okay, maybe it doesn't work. Isn't it nice to know there's another way? It's not that you failed. It's not that you didn't do well. That's like a hamster running around their wheel. God, I've been doing this for so long and I never got there. You're damn right you never got there, because there is nowhere to get. You got to jump off the thing. But I don't know what will happen when I get off. Yes, but you know what will happen if you don't. Nothing. Take a look at everyone else. Which ones do you want to be like? Really? The parents, your grandparents, the leaders. You hear me? Rich people. They have more divorces and suicides in Hollywood than anywhere else. 50% of all marriage in the United States of America end up in divorce. The problem is not the marriage. The problem is not the money. The problem is not anything. The problem is that you're trying to compensate for the blockages you have created inside yourself, so that momentarily you think, I'm happy, I got what I want. If you get rid of the blockages, it is always there. That's what the great masters have taught you. It is always there. It flows day and night. Nothing can take it away. Unless you decide to take it away, it will never stop flowing. How would you like that? So yoga, spirituality is offering you something very, very great. It's called liberation, freedom, passion, love, real love, not conditional love. You behave the way I want and I'll like you. You do something I don't like, get out of here. How about, I am so filled with love, there's nothing I can do about it. It's just pouring off of me. You want some, drink from it. You don't want it, fine. That's how a great being is. If you let go of yourself, and we'll talk about how to do that in a minute. Sorry, I always end up talking about that. Why not? Nobody else teaches you that. They teach you how to try to get what you want, don't they? Decide what you want and go get it. And be a success and you'll be happy. I don't see everybody so happy. All right? If you understand that you are blocking yourself, that is the greatest understanding. That's called wisdom. I have blocked myself. Are there things inside of you from your childhood that still bother you? Yes or no? Well, your childhood was 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 or more years ago, and it's not happening anymore. How rational is it to let that bother you? It's not, is it? But nobody will teach you how not to. They'll say, oh, you poor thing. Of course that happened to you. Oh, I would be so unhappy if that happened to me too. No wonder. No. You look at it and you say, I am a great being, but I'm blocked by all this garbage that happened to me that I stored inside of me that I wasn't able to deal with. How would you like to get rid of it? How would you like to know all of it can go? That you can wake up in the morning, there's none of it there, nothing gets hit during the day, and if it does, it just passes right through. You don't have to worry about a single thing ever again, because nothing can bother you. You're so filled with passion and joy and love and excitement inside. The world comes in, it goes, passes, just comes and passes through and leaves you as it found you, whole, complete. Would you like to be like that? They don't tell you can be like that. Yoga tells you, of course you can be like that. Not only, of course, can you be like that, you are like that. And the only reason you're not like that, because you decided not to be. You decided to let the fact that Sally didn't say hello bother you. And now next time you see Sally, you cold shoulder her. Or you ask her why she didn't say hello. You bring it with you. You keep the bothered inside of you. I always get to the point where I ask you a serious question. Here's a big question in this test, right? If you store every single thing that ever bothered you inside of you, what's it going to be like in there? Bothered. Is it? So your choice is not how to change your life so that you get what you want. The choice is to learn how to not do that. Until you learn how to not store things that don't feel good, that seem to bother you a little bit inside of you, you're going to be bothered. Do you think you're capable of learning not to let things bother you? You're capable. How do you do it? Like I said, to me, where the rubber hits the road is where the work is. You don't start with the big stuff. You don't start by saying, oh, mommy shouldn't be here, daddy shouldn't be in here. Just leave it alone. It'll work its way out over time. If you're going to put more in there, why bother taking the stuff out? So you literally start. This is what I've learned in my life. This is what the masters taught me anyways, through my lifetime, is if you're going to store more, what are you bothering trying to get rid of the old stuff? Don't store the new stuff. If it's raining out and you have to get out of the car and you don't want to get out of the car and you start complaining, you can handle that. You can let go of that. You can sit there and say, I can handle the rain. I shower in the morning. So do you hear me? That's your yoga. That's your asanas. That's your work. Can you go through the day, a minute. Can you go through a minute of your day and not be bothered by what's going on? You're capable, aren't you? Do you bother doing it? No. You don't bother doing it. You don't understand how important it is. When you learn how to, somebody doesn't say hello, the driver in front of you is not the way you want them to drive, they didn't use their blinkers, they stepped on their brakes. Things happen every minute, don't they? When you learn to say, my job is to be okay with that. Just the little tiny things in life. I call them low-hanging fruit in the new book. Just work with the low-hanging fruit. You're capable of it. If you practice this, it changes your life. If you don't let the things that happen today bother you, you will be less bothered tomorrow. Will you not? And so if Sally doesn't say hello, and it starts to go, why didn't she say hello? How about what I do? And you just go, whoa, slow down. Shh. There's 8.3 billion people on the planet. They didn't say hello either. Can I handle that one person didn't say hello? I don't even care why. She may have earbuds on. She may have been thinking of something. She may have had a hard day and she got a stomach ache. I don't care. I don't want to think about it. It's okay with me that moment took place. That's what I'm asking you to do. I can handle this. That is the Western mantra. Yes, you can do Om Namah Shivaya. Yes, you can do Shiva Hum. Western mantra, I can handle this. I can handle this. I can handle this. Because until you can handle this, those other mantras are not going to do so much. If you're going to sit there and bring yourself back down after meditating, I don't know why you're bothering. I would like to see you learn to not bring yourself back down. To reach a state and say, I'm staying here. I'm not coming down. The rain's not going to bring me down. Sally didn't say hello's not going to bring I can handle this. I can handle it. How would you like that? Because if you do, it's affirmation. If you do and you tell yourself I can handle this, you will learn how to do it. I just don't understand. When you started playing the piano, did you know how to play? You started learning calculus, did you know how to do it? You started playing tennis, did you know how to do it? What did you do? You practiced. Why won't you practice this? Why won't you practice the most important thing in your entire life, getting unblocked? Practice not storing more garbage. We call them some scars. These are some scars in yoga, all right? Big word. Stop storing that stuff in there. Learn to let it go. Learn to offer to God. Learn to breathe. Do anything you need to do. Positive affirmation, mantras, I don't care. Can you see the benefit of not storing it in there? Are you capable of not storing it in there? Are you capable of learning not to store it in there? That is the greatest thing you will learn in your entire life. How not to store this garbage that you keep storing inside of you. And when you let go of the little things, next thing you know, something bigger is going to happen. I swear, I promise you'll be capable of handling it. You just sit there and say, I handled the rain, I can probably handle this. Is it comfortable? No. If you're trying for a sport, it's not always so comfortable, is it? Right? Try for the Olympics. Go on, 4 years. Total suffering they go through. What do they gain? A gold medal they hang on the wall. What do you gain? Liberation. Freedom, joy, ecstasy. That's what happens. When you learn to handle the moments that happen in your life, you become free. You become open. And you're going to find out that there's forces in this world that if you start living that life, that help you. It's just miraculous. The teachings are that every being who ever reached your state and above will help you, live or dead. The forces help you up. Versus when you're sitting there trying to get for yourself, it doesn't always work so good, does it? That's what the great ones teach. But Mujnada used to teach. There's two wings to a bird, grace and self-effort. Your part is the self-effort, not the grace. The grace is there, but you block it by blocking all your stuff. So when you're willing to decide, that I always teach you this, sorry, I repeat myself, Earth is a place that souls are sent to evolve. That is the truth. Earth is a place that souls are sent to evolve. What does it mean to evolve? Be able to handle reality. Darwin said it, right? Adaptability, survival of the fittest. Are you the fittest, or you can't handle what somebody said? Or you can't handle that you dropped something on your pants? Or you know what I'm saying? Can you handle reality? And you start practicing. I wish people would teach you this. They should teach us from kindergarten. Handle reality, and wait to see what happens. You're going to find out that you're filled with love. You're filled with passion. You're filled with excitement and enthusiasm. You're not. How would you like to never be afraid anymore? It's not that there's not fear. Somebody wants to ask Ramakrishna, again, the great master, does an enlightened being ever feel anger? You know what he said? Yes, but it's like riding on water. It just passes right through. How would you like that? These things, you don't have to keep them inside of you. And next thing, you're so strong, but not strong enough to fight, strong enough to surrender. Surrender is the highest strength there is. If you can't handle something, go fight it. You'll keep fighting. If you can handle something, you're the strongest person that ever lived. Everything just passes right through, leaves you free and excited and filled with passion. That is yoga. It's beyond asanas, it's beyond mantras, it's beyond all the techniques. You need the techniques so you learn to do this. But if you do the techniques and then go back out and block yourself and think you should be getting stuff and doing stuff and being important, you're not going to get this. All right. So basically, I hope we had a nice talk. I encourage you to do something great with every moment, not just great with your life, great with every moment of your life. Learn to be different. You all like to be different. You wouldn't be out here. You're rebels. Learn to be different. Learn to handle reality. I think I told you last time, that one line in the new book, it is the essence of all the teachings, which is the moment in front of you is not bothering you. You're bothering yourself about the moment in front of you. The driver in front of you can't bother you. You're bothering yourself about the driver in front of you. The rain can't bother you. You're bothering yourself about the rain. Stop it. Learn not to do that. And the next thing you know, your heart will be open. The Shakti will be flowing. People say to me, what Shakti? I don't want to answer you. Find out. Stop blocking it. And you will feel all this power pouring up inside of you all the time. This work we're talking about, this will change your life. Very good. Thank you for listening. Jai Gurudev.